Who exactly was Lilith, and why did she leave the first man, Adam? A question that has puzzled scholars, theologians, and mythology enthusiasts for centuries. Lilith, a name that echoes through the annals of ancient Hebrew texts, is a figure shrouded in mystery and controversy. Her narrative is as captivating as it is confounding. Some see her as a sinister spectre, a nocturnal demon haunting the nightmares of men. Others, however, view her in a different light, as a symbol of defiance, perhaps even the first feminist. Lilith's story originates in the dusty scrolls of old, nestled within the cryptic verses of ancient Hebrew literature. Her name surfaces in the alphabet of Ben Sirah, a text believed to be composed between the 8th and 10th centuries. Here, she is introduced as the first wife of Adam, crafted from the same earth, standing as his equal. But this equality led to discord, and ultimately to her departure from the Edenic paradise. The tale of Lilith is riddled with diverse interpretations and perspectives. Some see her as a demonic entity, a harbinger of misfortune and death. She is painted in ghastly shades of darkness, associated with the fatal succubus, the stealer of infants' breaths, the whisperer of eerie dreams. It's a disturbing depiction that has, over time, morphed into a symbol of fear and loathing. On the other hand, there are those who view Lilith as a beacon of female empowerment. They see in her a woman who stood up to the ultimate patriarchal authority, asserting her equality and independence. In this light, Lilith becomes a symbol of resistance, a testament to the indomitable spirit of womanhood. These contrasting portrayals of Lilith give us an intriguing glimpse into the societal norms and cultural attitudes of the times. They also provide a fascinating framework for understanding the complex dynamics of gender relations, power structures, and societal expectations. So, who was Lilith truly? Why did she leave Adam? And did she have children? To answer these questions, we must journey back to the beginning, to the genesis of her story. Let's delve into the origins of Lilith and unravel her story. Lilith's story begins at the very genesis of mankind. A tale woven into the fabric of our earliest myths, her creation story is as complex and multifaceted as the character herself. In the ancient text of the Bible, the creation of mankind is told twice. The first account, in Genesis 1, says, "So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them." Here, no distinction is made between the creation of man and woman. They appear as equals formed together in the divine image. This is where the legend of Lilith finds its roots. Some scholars interpret this passage as indicating the simultaneous creation of a man, Adam, and a woman, Lilith, both sculpted from the same earthly dust. If this interpretation holds true, then Lilith was not a derivative of Adam, but his equal, a mirror image in female form. This idea challenges the later account in Genesis 2, where Eve is created from Adam's rib, symbolically positioning her as a derivative and, by some interpretations, subordinate to him. But Lilith, the first woman, was made of the same raw material as Adam. She was his equal in every way. The Babylonian Talmud, a central text of rabbinic Judaism, further supports this interpretation. It refers to a mysterious first Eve who was not formed from Adam but created independently. Some scholars identify this first Eve with Lilith. However, it's not just religious texts that mention Lilith. The ancient Sumerians knew her as a dark goddess, a demon of the night. Her creation story in Sumerian mythology also emphasizes her independence and power. So across various texts and traditions, we see a common thread. Lilith was created as an equal to Adam, not a subordinate. This equality, radical for its time and even for many times since, set the stage for a conflict as old as humanity itself. But being created equal didn't sit well with Adam, leading to the first conflict. Adam and Lilith were equals, but not all equals get along. In the dawn of creation, a rift began to emerge in paradise. The first man, Adam, and the first woman, Lilith, found themselves at odds over their roles in their newfound existence. You see, Lilith was created as Adam's equal, not from his rib, but from the same soil that birthed Adam. This parity was embossed in Lilith's spirit, and she had no intention of relinquishing it. Their first argument erupted over a question of dominance. Adam, perhaps influenced by the natural world around him, where males often led, assumed he would assume this role. But Lilith, she was not so easily swayed. She refused to be subservient, to be lesser than Adam. And this was the spark that ignited their conflict. The power dynamics in their relationship were as tumultuous as the primordial seas. Adam, accustomed to the deference of the creatures around him, found Lilith's defiance perplexing. But Lilith, she was a force unto herself, a tempest of will and spirit that refused to be tamed. In their struggle for control, the tension escalated. Arguments became frequent as each sought to assert their authority. The paradise they inhabited soon became a battleground, their words the weapons they wielded. Lilith, her spirit undaunted, stood her ground. She was no mere helpmate, no subservient companion. She was Adam's equal, and she demanded recognition of this fact. Her refusal to submit was not born of rebellion, but of a deep-seated conviction in her own worth. Adam, on the other hand, found himself in unfamiliar territory. He had expected harmony but found discord. He had sought companionship but encountered opposition. His vision of paradise was crumbling, and at the heart of it all was the woman who stood unyielding and defiant. This conflict, this struggle for dominance, was not just about power. It was about respect, about recognition of their equal worth. But the resolution was not to be found in compromise or understanding. Instead, the discord between Adam and Lilith led to a drastic decision: Lilith's departure. Lilith, defying the established norms, made a decision that would change everything. In a world where obedience was the rule, Lilith chose the path of resistance. She was unwilling to submit to Adam, her supposed equal, and this led to her decision to depart from the idyllic Garden of Eden. It was a decision that spoke volumes of her indomitable spirit and her desire for autonomy. She wasn't just leaving Adam, but also the comfort and security of the garden. Yet she didn't falter, didn't look back. Her resolve was as unyielding as the granite cliffs that bordered Eden. But how could she escape this paradise, which was, in her eyes, a gilded cage? The answer lay in the power of a name, the name of God, to be precise. In her desperation, Lilith invoked the sacred name of God. This act was considered blasphemous, a defiance of divine authority, yet it was this audacious move that granted her the means of her escape. As the legends tell it, Lilith was bestowed with wings. A symbol of freedom, these wings allowed her to take flight from the confines of Eden and the shackles of her life with Adam. The very act of invoking God's name, however, had its consequences. In one interpretation, Lilith was cursed and transformed into a demon. In another, she was granted her desired freedom, but at a cost. Regardless of the interpretation, one thing was clear: Lilith was forever changed. Her departure from Eden marked the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. She was no longer Adam's companion or the first woman of Eden. She had become something else entirely, a figure that would be both feared and revered in the centuries to come. After her departure, Lilith's life took a turn towards a darker path. But that, my dear listeners, is a tale for another time. For now, let's dwell on the courage it took for Lilith to spread her wings and embrace the unknown. After leaving Eden, Lilith's life underwent a significant transformation. No longer the companion of Adam, Lilith found herself in a new realm, one that was far from the paradise she had left behind. Here, amidst the chaos and darkness, Lilith transformed. From a woman, she morphed into a creature of the night, a demoness, if you will, a stark contrast to her previous existence. Her association with the night was not a random occurrence. It was during the hours of darkness that Lilith found her purpose, her calling. In the stillness of the night, she became a succubus, a nocturnal entity known for her seductive allure. She would visit men in their dreams, luring them in with her irresistible charm. But her intentions were far from benign. While they succumbed to her allure, she would drain their life force, leaving them weakened, a mere shadow of their former selves. But Lilith's life was not just about seduction and destruction. She was also a mother, albeit a mother of demons. The Lilim, as they were known, were Lilith's offspring. These creatures, like their mother, were entities of the night. They were demons, born from Lilith's union with various male demons she encountered in her nocturnal wanderings. The Lilim, just like Lilith, were feared and respected in equal measure, a testament to the power they wielded. Lilith's transformation was not an easy one. It was born out of necessity, a survival instinct that forced her to adapt and evolve. She was no longer the Lilith that had walked in Eden. She was different, changed, transformed. But despite her transformation, one thing remained constant: her spirit. Lilith was a rebel, a woman who refused to conform, who chose her own path no matter how difficult or dark it might be. Lilith's story is a tale of rebellion, transformation and survival. It's a story that continues to captivate us, reminding us of the power of change and the importance of staying true to oneself. Lilith's story, as controversial as it is, has left a lasting legacy. This powerful figure has woven her way through many cultures, religions, and literary works, leaving an indelible mark each time. In Jewish folklore, Lilith is often seen as a demoness, a night creature preying on infants. Yet, she's not always depicted in such a negative light. Some interpretations present her as a protector of women, a figure that embodies independence and defiance against subjugation. Her name has even been invoked in prayers for safe childbirth, an ironic twist for a character often associated with danger to newborns. Lilith's influence extends beyond religious texts. She has become a prominent figure in literature, often used to represent a strong, independent woman who refuses to bow to societal pressures. From Dante Gabriel Rossetti's poem Eden Bower to George MacDonald's fantasy novel Lilith, she has been a source of intrigue and fascination. Pop culture hasn't been immune to Lilith's allure either. She's made appearances in films, television shows and comic books, often as a powerful, enigmatic figure. From the villain in the television series Supernatural to a playable character in the video game Borderlands, Lilith's legacy is far-reaching and diverse. Perhaps one of the most significant aspects of Lilith's legacy is her role as a symbol of female empowerment. In the face of a society that sought to suppress her, Lilith stood firm, refusing to be subordinated. This act of defiance has made her a symbol for many feminist movements. She embodies the spirit of resistance, the refusal to accept an imposed role, and the pursuit of self-determination. Lilith's story, while ancient, still resonates with us today. Her legacy, like her character, is complex and multifaceted, reflecting the many ways in which she has been interpreted and reimagined over the centuries. Lilith, a figure shrouded in mystery, continues to captivate us even today. From creation to departure, from demon to icon, Lilith's story is truly fascinating. In the beginning, Lilith was crafted from the same soil as Adam, making them equals. But this equality was not to last. As the first woman, she found herself at odds with Adam, clashing over their roles in this newly formed world. You see, Lilith desired the same level of respect and autonomy as Adam, a sentiment not shared by her counterpart. This disagreement, a power struggle of sorts, led to Lilith's departure from the Garden of Eden. She chose to leave, refusing to be subservient, and in doing so became a symbol of rebellion. It was a bold move, one that would paint her as a demon in the eyes of some, yet a beacon of independence and self-determination to others. The tale of Lilith's departure is a reminder of the struggles for equality that persist to this day. After leaving the garden, Lilith's life took a supernatural turn. She was transformed, becoming a figure of the night associated with demons and dark forces. The stories tell us that she bore children known as the Lilim. These offspring, like their mother, were considered creatures of the night, further cementing Lilith's reputation as a demoness. It's a startling transformation from the first woman to a feared entity. Yet in spite of her demonization, or perhaps because of it, Lilith has left a lasting impact. Her story raises questions about power dynamics, gender roles and rebellion. It prompts us to consider the consequences of challenging the status quo and the price one might pay for seeking equality. Lilith's tale is a mirror held up to society, reflecting our own biases and preconceptions. Lilith's legacy is as complex as her story. To some, she remains a demon, a symbol of chaos and danger, but to many, Lilith has become an icon of feminism, a beacon of resilience and independence. Her refusal to submit to Adam, her decision to leave the Garden of Eden, and her life outside of it have been reclaimed and celebrated. Lilith has been transformed from a demon into an icon, a testament to her enduring influence. In conclusion, Lilith's story is a captivating blend of myth and metaphor. Spanning from the dawn of creation to the modern day, it is a tale that continues to resonate, to challenge and to inspire. It speaks to the power of mythology, to its ability to provoke thought and stimulate conversation. It reminds us of the importance of questioning, of seeking equality, and of standing up for one's beliefs. Whether seen as a demon or a feminist icon, Lilith's story continues to intrigue and provoke thought, reminding us of the complexities of our own human nature.